Alright, let's look at putting a roof on this. I'm going to gather up the exterior walls. And while I'm at it, I'm going to just make a new class that's called exterior walls. I guess I already did that, and I want to make sure that my exterior walls are placed, there we go, in that class. Alright, so with all our walls selected, creating roof is really easy. We go up to Model, AEC, and choose Create Roof. We've got a bunch of different choices here. We can choose what the eave is going to look like, and you get this nice little preview window to see what the eave looks like. You get to make all kinds of different decisions. You can choose the thickness of the roof depending on the size of the joists and the roofing material, the roof pitch, which you can either enter as degrees or rise and run with separated by a colon, so it could be like a 4:12 or a 12:4 roof. Bearing height, you can decide to put this on a particular layer. It will automatically be created in a class called Roof Main, and we'll click OK. And there we go, we have our roof. Now to edit the roof, if you double click on the roof, you get the blue handles, and then you can pick on each handle to either change the style or setting. So I can change this to a gable if I want to change it to a gable, and if I want to reduce the amount of eave, or if I want to change that style, or if I want to increase or decrease the eave overhang, I can go point by point. Maybe I want to have a gable over here, and go point by point and edit my roof. Now notice my roof has some textures. So what I did was I went to the roof class and gave it some textures. I chose roof, and I gave it a top. We don't have any dormers yet, so I didn't do that, and clicked OK. And same thing for my exterior walls. The reason I created an exterior wall class and put those walls in there is that now I can do the same thing. I can go use textures at creation. I can give it an inside and an outside texture and click OK. Now I've got some space here between my wall and my roof. Let me show you what you need to do. So I'm going to temporarily hide my roof, and I'm going to select my walls. I'll turn the roof back on just so we can see what's going on. And here's where we have to switch tool set, so we can do this right on the go. Let's switch over to Architect and Fit Walls to Roof. And you want to be careful here. You want to make sure that you choose Constrain the tops of the walls to the 3D geometry. Obviously, if there was something below that you wanted to constrain the walls to, say you were putting a second story on top of a first story that had a roof, you could constrain the bottom of the walls to the 3D geometry. And then you have to choose what layer. Fit to the geometry on what layer, because you could have a roof item on lots of different layers, perhaps. This one can drive you insane if you forget to set this one, because you'll say fit walls to roof, or you create roof, and nothing happens, and nothing happens, and nothing happens. So be careful that you match up the layer that you're working on with the layer that appears here in the window, and then click OK. And I'll re-render this in OpenGL. And what this does is actually cut the walls. If I lift the roof off a little bit, it will actually shape the walls. And if I raise the roof a little bit, I can go back and reselect those walls, and I can choose fit walls to roof, and the walls will automatically match that geometry. So that's pretty nice. You just have to drop a roof on, so it doesn't matter what shape the roof is. You can draw your roof and then automatically have the walls fit the roof. You don't have to do that automatically, which is really pretty nice. And then the last thing is, if you have a gable roof, it will fill in this little piece of wall here, and if you want that to have the same wall texture, you actually have to go in and edit this, and this is another thing that can drive you insane for a while until you remember where it is. In the Object Info palette, you select Roof, and you go to Render, and you get to choose the part. So you could choose the top if you wanted to give the top the shakes. If there was an attic, you could do that, but you choose Walls, and then you choose the texture. So let's go put the same texture. Let's see, siding aluminum yellow. There we go. And you can fill in that part. And you can see we've got our windows. We can see through our windows. We didn't put any exterior trim on yet, but we certainly could. But we've got some siding, and we've got our roof, and we have the start of a model. Again, when I go back to top plan, if I want to, I keep losing that navigation palette, so I'll just turn it off. Turn it on again. There we go. Again, when you make some viewports and sheet layers, you can turn the roof off so you can see below it. Again, you can turn the old walls on, turn the new walls off. You can create more classes, obviously, if you want to create more classes. And then if you want to show a plan for the roof or some 3D views in your viewports, you can turn the roof back on. So you have a lot of flexibility in how you present your drawing.